Hi there folks, and welcome back to my wool game build tutorial. And in this episode we start building the circuits which comprise the wool redistribution system. The first circuit that we're going to build is the wool filter. So to do that we're going to knock out this corner so that we can see where the chest is. Directly underneath the chest is going to be a hopper, and underneath that is a second hopper, and that's going to feed into a dropper. So we're going to place the dropper right here, and then on the back here we're going to temporarily place a column for us to stand on so that we can hold down the shift key in order to place this hopper into the back of the dropper, and then this hopper into the top of that hopper. Okay, and then while we're here we're going to place sandstone there and here and come out the back, because what we're going to do here is place a comparator right here with redstone dust coming out the back and a torch on the back. So of course what we need to do is to have wool of just the one color, pink in this case, accepted by the chest, and this is using the standard filtering system where we place 64 wool. Before we do that, actually we need to make sure that we shut off this this hopper. To do that we need to power it, and so we're going to use a torch right here. Now we can place 64 wool, and you'll see that it's not feeding through. The remaining slots we're going to just fill in with an unused or rarely used item, sugar in this case. That's just to fill up the hopper so that it doesn't accept anything else. Now in the top we're going to place 22 items, and it's going to be 4 wool of the chosen color in the first slot, and then 18 cookies in the remaining slots. So there we go. This is with exactly 22 stackable items, we're at 1/16 of the power output, which means that when we look at the output from this comparator, you'll see that it's igniting the first segment on this at the first segment of redstone dust, but the second one is not lit, and you can tell that of course because the torch on the end is still lit. If we put a one more item in there, you'll see now that we have the 2 sections lit. So it's just tipped over from power level 1 to power level 2, and now it's extinguished this torch. And that's basically the principle that we're going to use to give this the function that we want. So what we want to do is we want to feed that signal back underneath to extinguish this torch to allow the bottom hopper to start feeding things through. So with some dust there, then we're going to then just have this come across like this. We're going to put a redstone torch on the back, which of course is going to be extinguished by this powered dust, and then we'll have that feed into here. So now that should be the circuit. And just to show that it works, quick test, we are going to place 4 pink wool into the top. It gets sucked in. Of course, if you put any other color in, it's going to quite happily just sit there, not being accepted by the system. And we have the steady state here of 4 pink wool and 18 cookies, and 64 pink wool and 4 sugar, and in here we just transferred 4 pink wool to the dropper. Okay, so there, that is the wool filter system. Right then, the next part is to build the water channel to redistribute the wool by dividing it up into 3 more or less equal output hoppers. So to do this, we are going to just build under here. This first one is going to be where the water source is. Then if we count 7 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, This is going to be the last one. We're going to knock out that one, and that one. This is where we're going to put the hoppers. So actually for this one, we're going to feed this first hopper is going to actually be offset by 1. So if we just come up here, and then this hopper actually in the channel is going to feed into that hopper. So we need to come out to the side there. For this next one, we can actually just go straight down, which would be like that. And if we can just kind of squeeze on there we go. Right, and then this last one, we should be able to go 1, 2, 3, remembering to hold the shift key down. Okay, so the reason for doing this is because we want to have a comparator measure the contents of this guy here, because that's going to control the rail circuit like that. This one is going to come down. So the reason that we've got this staggering of output hoppers is really so that the circuits don't interfere with each other. So I'll just show you that here. Actually, that one's needs to come down one more, like so. Okay, and then back up. Yep, that looks good. Then this one is going to be, oh yeah, so this is going to be down 1 also. That's, that was there. It's going to come in like so. Okay. Okay, there we go. So that is going to be where the track comes in. We're going to place a brick on the end there. Don't need these anymore. Right, so what we need to have happen is the water channel is now going to be along here. Retaining wall just to stop the water from escaping. Like so. So if you remember, the reason that we need these 3 is to have the wool be distributed. But to do that, in order to do that, we're going to have to control these first 2. And so for that, we're going to just run a line into that top hopper there, the one that is actually in the channel itself. And so by switching these on, for example, for now we'll just use torches, that's going to prevent wool from being sucked through the hoppers and allow the wool to come into the final one here. Okay, so that is the water channel. To make sure that the items that are spat out by the dropper do not go flying off to this side or flying off to that side, we are going to take the precaution of putting a half slab at the top and following that by a full block. And so things that get spit out are going to hit this block and then drop into the water, and then just follow the channel down there. So now we can put our source water block in, and not really necessary, but you can put glass in on top just so that you can see what's going on. If you can actually see there we go. Oh, that's not what we wanted. We wanted one right there. Okay. All right. So there's our water channel feeding into the hoppers. Next up is powering the rails. So to power the rails, we are going to want to put a redstone torch right here, And so right next to this downward diagonal, we're going to put a block, and then on the back of that block, we're going to put a redstone torch. Now, that's actually not going to power anything until we place another block on top, like so. There, now you see this rail is powered. So we're going to do the same thing on all three, like so. Redstone torch, block on top. Redstone torch, block on top. Okay, so that powers the rails, and then we're going to want to have a circuit that removes the power from the rail when this hopper has something in it. So to do that, what we need to do is have a comparator that comes off the back like so. So we're going to find the comparator. Here it is. That's going to come off the back there. And then we're going to have a repeater off the back there. Connect the two up. And then this one is going to just come in down around the corner and into the back here. This is the block with the torch on it. So when we have something in the hopper, for example some wool, that's going to light this all up, which is going to extinguish the torch under here, which means that the rail is no longer powered. So as long as there's something in the hopper and it's draining into the cart is going to sit here there quite happily. But as soon as the hopper is emptied, the circuit extinguishes, the torch goes back on, and the cart gets kicked off. So we're just going to repeat that circuit for these other two distribution points here. Okay, so we need a comparator and repeater and dust to power it. Okay, so here we're going to have a comparator out the back, repeater, and then dust here, 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 and here. There we go. That should be it. Now we can just test this circuit if we want to by leading out a little bit further here and throwing that on there. Now if we find a button to put on the end and a minecart like so, 1 and 1, what we actually need is to put something in here. So let's put something in there, like 5 pink wool, and you'll see that it's dropping in and lighting the circuit. There we go. Oh, no, we need to use the right click, not the left click. There. Off it goes, picks up the wool, comes up. Now you see that actually came up pretty slowly at the end here. It's got this double height to come up. So just one precaution that I like to do is put a powered rail right there, and if we dig underneath and put a torch to power it, there, that should help improve the chances of that cart not getting stuck. So we're just going to put some items in there again, just test one more time. And out it comes. There. Yeah, that's much more responsive. These two here don't really need that extra rail because of course it doesn't have as far up to come here. So there we go. That is that section completed. Okay, next we are going to just tidy up this corner here. We actually don't need any of this anymore. Let's see, what do we need to keep here? Don't need any of those. There, and then we'll remove this here also, like so. And now what we're going to do back here is we're going to put in the T flip-flop and the clock to power these circuits so that they switch on and off to control the flow of wool into these three. For this we need a T flip-flop so that the speed at which this first line changes is actually double the speed at which the second line changes. So we're going to feed this one across a couple this way, and then this is going to be the output of the T flip-flop with a gated latch there, like so. Oops, that needs to be like that, and then we have a repeater on 3 ticks, and that is coming out of a block which has a torch on the side which is going to power it like that. So you know, of course this is a T latch. When you have a button on there, every input is going to flip it from off to on and back again. Okay, so there. Now it's on, now it's off. So it's basically an edge detector, if you think of it that way. Okay, so what we're going to feed into that is a clock signal, and that's going to be provided by this guy here with a torch, and we're just going to take this around and do a line of 5 of these repeaters on maximum delay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to just turn the corner, put 4 more, feeding back into here. So of course they will switch the torch off and repeat, and we just need to connect these up. So you'll now see that we are doing a pretty slow pulse on and off here. And what we also then want is to feed this one into here, but what we don't want is this one off and this one on. So to fix that, we're just going to take a repeater and drop that in there, and that should be it. So you see we have them both on and then both off, like so, and then for a short period there will be just this first one on. There you go. That is the slow clock at the back controlling the distribution hoppers. Now if you remember, over on this side we have wool being transferred down into the dropper, but we actually need to power the dropper to spit them out into the water channel, and we only want that happening when there's stuff in the hopper. So to do that we're going to put a comparator right on this square here, and then that's going to come out and around like so. So we're going to have this one here and place a repeater on here. So if there's anything in the dropper, we're going to feed the signal this way, and then that's going to come down this way, and then down and down, like so. Let's see, so that one's going to go 1, 2, actually that one's going to go down. We're coming right in there. Okay, so that one comes down, and that is actually going to feed into an AND gate. I'm going to place the AND gate about here. Of course, an AND gate is very simply a torch in the center of a line of 3 blocks, 2 torches on the top, and redstone dust in the middle. And we're going to feed that circuit that way. So This one is just going to come straight around into, in fact we can lose that one and put it here instead. Just feed right in, like so. Okay, so that's going to feed into that side of the AND gate, and then on the other side of the AND gate we want to have a fast clock. And so for the fast clock we need to put in this little guy here. So under there we're going to have that, which is going to have a redstone torch on, which is just going to power a repeater this way and then go back into there. And that is going to have redstone dust feeding into this side of the AND gate. And just connect that up, and now you can see that it is pulsing away. So when there is stuff in the dropper, that circuit is going to light, it's going to activate the other side of the AND gate, and that clock signal is going to propagate through. And now what we need to do is have that signal propagate up to be in right here. So for that we need a repeater right there, and we're just going to come down like this. Oops, not there, there. And that we should be able to just wire up like so. So now if we put something in the chest, it should end up in the dropper, and that will activate the signal. Let's just do a quick test here. Actually, I guess I can just put, let's see, what we need is pink wool, right? There it goes. And we're not getting anything out. Why is that? We have 6. Because, there we go, debug this. This is not a comparator, this is a repeater. We need a comparator in there. There we go. Now we've got the circuit going. Okay, so did you hear it? It went 6 times and then it shut off again. But what you'll see now is the pink wool in the water channel, and now it's been distributed into the first and third hoppers. Cool. Okay, so that is the clock system for powering the dropper when it has stuff in it. So we are going to leave it there for this episode, and then in the next episode I will show you how to build the wool return system, where we're going to deliver 3 different types of wool from 3 different directions. But for now we'll just call it a night. See you next time.